Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders loosen. Wherever you are, let the day drift away for a while. Tonight, we are going to travel far, far back in time, to a quieter place. A place where the wind carries the scent of pine and earth, and the sound of life moves slowly, like a soft current. This is the story of the quiet villages along the Great Wall of China. Not the famous battlefields, not the rushing crowds of tourists that gather today, but the still, steady rhythm of life that has unfolded in small, peaceful corners for centuries. Picture the wall in your mind, not as a monument in stone, but as a long ribbon of earth and brick, winding gently over hills. Along its edge, there are villages, some made of sun-baked earth, some of timber, some of pale gray brick. The wall is simply there, in the background. Like a sleeping giant, life in the villages flows quietly, almost untouched by time. Imagine the early morning here. The sky is soft, pale blue, washed with thin strands of cloud. The air is cool, with a faint taste of wood smoke. A rooster calls once. Then again, its voice echoing over low rooftops. Slowly, the village stirs. In these places, mornings are unhurried. A thin thread of smoke begins to curl from chimneys as small clay. Stoves are lit. Tea leaves are set to steep in simple clay pots. The quiet hum of the day begins. We start our walk through one such village, a cluster of homes tucked beneath a gentle bend of the wall. Its name is not important. It might have been different 100 years ago, different again before that. The wall above is steady, but the names of the villages change like seasons. Here, the houses are built close together for warmth in the winter. Walls are plastered in pale clay, patched and smoothed again and again over the years. Wooden doors are worn at the edges, polished by many hands. You might see a few red paper charms pasted near the lintels, simple decorations faded by rain and sun. Stone steps lead to courtyards where children sometimes play. Though now in the morning stillness, you only hear the sound of a few quiet footsteps and the gentle brush of a broom sweeping dust from the doorway. The village feels timeless. Generations have lived here, tending the same soil, walking the same worn paths, looking at the same ancient wall in the distance. Life moves with the seasons, not the clock. Spring brings the first green shoots, summer the warmth and long work days, autumn the harvest, and winter the quiet hush of snow. Today, in this moment, it is a calm autumn morning. Leaves turn the soft colors of faded gold. The wall above is touched by sunlight. Its shadow stretches over small fields where patches of millet and beans wait to be gathered. A few villagers, bundled in simple jackets, move slowly between rows, their movements unhurried. Everything here has a rhythm, steady, quiet, certain. We keep walking past small homes, past stacked bundles of firewood, past an old stone well where water still shines faintly at the bottom. Somewhere, a dog barks once, then settles again into silence. The sound echoes softly against the stones of the wall. As we step onto a slightly higher path, we can see more of the wall itself. From here, it stretches into the distance, its surface weathered by centuries of sun, wind, and rain. It is not a sharp or intimidating sight, just steady and calm, following the curves of the hills. And along it, small watchtowers rise. There, windows open to the endless sky. For the villagers, these towers are simply part of the scenery. As natural as the mountains themselves, we pause for a moment, taking in the view. The air is still. A light breeze carries the smell of pine wood from the nearby hills. Somewhere, faintly, there is the sound of a bell, perhaps from a small shrine, or from a herder calling his animals home. The day has only just begun. And there is so much more to see. The path slopes gently downward now, leading us toward the heart of the village. The air carries the warm, faintly sweet smell of grain being cooked. A small courtyard is alive with the soft hiss of steam rising from a bamboo basket. Inside, a woman carefully lifts the lid, releasing a cloud scented with freshly steamed buns, plain, round, and warm from the stove. In a place like this, food is simple. But it carries the comfort of tradition, the kind that changes little. From one generation to the next, nearby, a man sits on a low wooden stool, his hands busy mending a fishing net. There is no river in sight here, just a small pond to the east of the village, but the net will be used to catch small carp. Enough to flavor a soup or share with neighbors. Everyday work is quiet, deliberate. Tasks are not rushed. They are part of the natural flow of the day. Children wander in pairs, chasing a reed hoop with a stick, their laughter soft and low. In this village, even laughter feels gentle, as though it moves in harmony with the still air. One child stops to point at the wall, tracing its outline in the sky with a stick. For them, the wall is not history. It is simply part of home. We walk further, past a row of drying vegetables strung neatly from wooden poles. Long red peppers sway faintly in the breeze. Strings of garlic and onions hang nearby, their pale skins catching the soft sunlight. These small stores will see the village through the winter. When the land sleeps beneath snow and the pace of life grows even slower, along the main path, a pair of elders sit on a bench beneath a ginkgo tree. Its fan-shaped leaves are golden now, falling slowly to the earth. They talk quietly, their voices low and steady, like a stream moving over smooth stones. One of them pauses to pour tea from a small clay pot, filling 2 tiny cups. The scent of tea leaves rises in the cool air, earthy, rich, and familiar. In the distance, we hear the faint sound of a cartwheel turning. A lone cart, pulled by a mule, makes its way along the path toward the village. Its wooden wheels creak softly, each turn a reminder of how slowly life moves here. Inside the cart, bundles of firewood and a few sacks of grain are neatly tied with rope. Supplies arrive, without haste, as they always have. Above it all, the Great Wall rests in the background. It does not loom or overshadow the village. It simply stands like a line drawn across the sky. Its presence is constant, familiar, and quiet. For those who live here, the wall is not a monument to be marveled at. It is a silent companion, sharing the rhythm of their days. As we move closer to the edge of the village, the sound of the fields returns faint voices, the rustle of grain, the distant call of a bird. Here, work and nature blend. No hour is measured by a clock. The sun and seasons are the true keepers of time. Soon, the day will shift again, and we will see the village in the golden afternoon light. The sun has risen higher now, but it is not harsh. Its light spreads in a warm, golden wash over the village. Shadows stretch gently from the low tiled roofs, reaching across narrow paths that wind like ribbons between homes. We follow one such path, the ground packed firm by countless footsteps over the years. The afternoon is a time for steady work, but never in a hurry. Here, life follows the patience of the seasons, and each task is done with quiet care. In one small courtyard, a man works with bamboo. His hands move slowly, splitting thin strips, weaving them into a basket. The sound is soft, the faint crack of bamboo splitting, the quiet scrape of a knife. Each basket he makes will be used for carrying grain or fruit or firewood. The craft is simple, but it has been passed down like a story from one generation to the next. Nearby, a woman sits at a loom, the threads stretched taut across wooden bars. She moves the shuttle back and forth, the rhythm steady, unhurried. Cloth she is weaving will become a jacket, perhaps for her son or her husband. The colors are muted, soft blues, faded browns, colors that echo the earth and sky around the village. As we walk, The air carries the smell of pine wood again. The hills beyond the wall are thick with trees, and the breeze brings their scent down into the valley. For a moment, you can hear nothing but the rustling of leaves, the soft brush of branches swaying against one another. It is the kind of silence that feels alive. We pass by a small open space where a few elders gather, are playing a quiet game of Shangqi Chinese chess, their pieces worn smooth by years of use. Each move is made with thought, but no urgency. A soft laugh rises when a clever play is made, and then the game continues in peaceful concentration. Farther down the path, we come across a small shrine tucked into the base of a hill. It is simple: a few stones, a carved wooden figure, and thin incense sticks that leave a faint trail of smoke in the air. Someone has left offerings: a small bowl of rice, a piece of fruit, and a single flower. It is not a place of grand ceremony, but one of quiet respect. The afternoon sun glows gently on the wall above. From this angle, you can see how its surface is softened by time. Lichen grows in some of its cracks, and plants have found their way between the stones. The wall looks peaceful now, as though it has been part of the hills forever. A few villagers make their way along a narrow path that climbs toward a watchtower. They are carrying bundles of sticks for firewood. Their voices are soft, their pace steady. From the tower, the view stretches far, hills rolling in gentle folds, valleys dotted with farms, and here and there, the faint smoke of another village. Rising in the distance, the afternoon passes slowly here. There is no rush for the day to end. The sun begins its long descent, and the shadows grow a little longer. Life continues at its quiet rhythm, just as it has for centuries. The sun is lower now, turning the air to gold. A soft haze rests over the fields, and the rooftops seem almost to glow. It is the hour when work gently winds down, when the day exhales before slipping into night. We walk again along the main path of the village. The scent of evening cooking is beginning to spread, steam drifting from clay pots, the faint aroma of garlic and ginger warming in oil. In a courtyard, a woman ladles soup into a wooden bowl, the broth rich with greens and tender pieces of tofu. The steam curls slowly upward, catching the golden light. A group of children gather near the old ginkgo tree. Their voices are softer now, the games of afternoon giving way to the calm of evening. One child traces a stick in the dirt, drawing the shape of the wall, while another hums a little tune, something learned from a grandmother long ago. The fields are quieter too. Most of the tools have been set aside, leaning against small stone walls. A farmer leads his mule back toward the village, its pace unhurried, the sound of its hooves muffled against the dry earth. The grain that was gathered today is piled neatly in the yard, ready to be threshed in the coming days. In the distance, the great wall softens with shadow. The watchtowers glow faintly as the last sunlight brushes their upper stones. From here, the wall looks endless, fading gently into the haze of the hills. For those who live here, this view has always been the same, a quiet reassurance that the world beyond moves slowly. We pass another small courtyard, where an elder sits alone with a clay teapot. The tea is dark, brewed strong, poured into a cup that has been mended more than once. He sits in silence, watching the sky as it deepens to a richer shade of gold. Every so often, he glances toward the wall, as though greeting an old friend. In another corner of the village, a few neighbors gather together. They speak in low voices, sharing the events of the day, though there is never much to tell. Life here is steady, and that is comfort enough. Someone offers a steamed bun to another, breaking it in half so it can be shared. The gesture is as old as the village itself. As the light fades, small lanterns begin to appear. They are simple paper lanterns, glowing softly, their light warm and steady. The paths are bathed in a gentle golden hue, guiding the last footsteps home before the evening settles completely, and slowly the Great Wall disappears into the dusk, leaving only its quiet presence in the darkening air. The last traces of daylight slip away behind the hills. The air cools, carrying with it the scent of earth and faint traces of smoke from cooking fires that are now burning low. One by one, the sounds of the day grow softer, replaced by the steady hush of night. In the heart of the village, doors close gently. The warmth of meals lingers inside homes, where families sit quietly together, sharing simple conversation. Children lean sleepily against their mothers, their eyes half closed as the stories of old times are told once again. The lanterns along the narrow paths glow a little brighter against the dark. Their light is not strong, just enough to guide a late passerby. Each lantern sways faintly in the breeze, the paper rustling softly. Like the whisper of leaves, beyond the village, the fields are still. The day's work has ended, and the land rests. From a distance, the Great Wall seems to melt into the darkness, its form only visible in the faintest outline against the starlit sky. Its watchtowers are shadows now quiet, unmoving, at peace. Above, the sky is vast and full of stars. There is no bright glare here, no rush of light to hide them. Each star glimmers clearly, some faint, some strong, as though the night has opened an old, familiar map. For the villagers, these stars are a kind of calendar, marking the seasons in their slow and patient way. A lone dog barks once from the far edge of the village, then falls silent. Somewhere, an owl calls softly, its voice carrying across the quiet fields. The sounds are not loud. They are part of the stillness. They belong to the night, as they always have. In one small courtyard, an elder sits by a low table, pouring the last cup of tea for the evening. Steam rises faintly in the cool air. He sits without hurry, watching as the steam curls upward, then disappears into the darkness. It is a simple end to a simple day. Soon, most of the village is asleep. Only a few small lights remain, glowing faintly behind paper windows. The night deepens, wrapping the village in its calm embrace. The wall above stands quiet, as it has through countless nights like this one, a silent guardian in the still air. The rhythm of the village rests now, waiting gently for the first light of morning to begin again. The village has grown completely quiet now. The air is still, the kind of stillness that only comes when the world has truly gone to rest. The faint glow from the lanterns has dimmed, and the paths lie in soft darkness. Above, the sky stretches deep and endless. The moon hangs low, pale and round, casting its silver light over the rooftops. It brushes the Great Wall with a quiet glow, tracing its curves over the hills. The watchtowers stand like silent shadows, their windows filled with moonlight. From the fields, a cool mist begins to rise. It gathers gently around the edges of the village, moving slowly as though reluctant to disturb the stillness. The mist softens every shape, the rooftops, the walls, the paths, until the village feels like a dream itself. Inside the homes, all is peaceful. Families sleep on wooden beds, wrapped in simple quilts. Children breathe evenly, their dreams carrying them to places that are as familiar as the world outside their doors. Some dream of the hills, some of the wall, some of the simple joys of the coming day. A faint sound drifts from the forest, the gentle rush of leaves stirred by the night breeze. It carries the cool scent of pine and the soft, earthy smell of the mountain soil. The air moves slowly through the village, brushing past quiet doorways and empty courtyards in the far distance. There is a glimmer of movement, perhaps a small animal making its way through the fields, or a bird adjusting its wings on a quiet branch. These sounds are soft, part of the deep rhythm of the night. Here, even movement is hushed. The Great Wall under the moon seems different than in the day. In sunlight, it is warm and steady. Under moonlight, it feels ancient and mysterious, as though holding countless stories in its stones. From the towers, shadows fall long and thin over the slopes, blending into the darkness of the hills. The night stretches on. The hours pass quietly, marked only by the slow journey of the moon across the sky. The stars shift almost imperceptibly, their light steady and constant. In these hours, the village breathes in harmony with the land. Time feels slower, gentler, as if each moment is wrapped in a soft, endless hush. The deep stillness of night begins to soften. It is not sudden, not loud, just a gentle change in the air. The moon sinks lower, its pale light fading quietly into the horizon. Over the eastern hills, a faint silver glow begins to touch the edge of the sky. The village is still mostly asleep. The lanterns have burned out, leaving the paths in a cool half-light. The mist that gathered during the night now rests low over the ground, drifting softly through the narrow lanes. It curls around the wooden doors and rises faintly from the fields. The great wall is the first to catch the new light. Its stones take on a pale, silvery hue, almost like frost. The watchtowers are quiet silhouettes, their outlines sharp against the brightening sky. From a distance, the wall looks almost like a river of stone, flowing gently over the hills. A single bird calls a clear, soft note that breaks the silence without disturbing it. Another answers from somewhere beyond the fields. Soon, a few more voices join in, the first quiet music of the morning. Inside the homes, a slow stirring begins. A door opens softly, its wooden hinges creaking just enough to mark the moment. A woman steps into the courtyard, her breath visible in the cool air. She pours a little water into a clay basin, washing her hands before lighting the small morning fire. The faint scent of kindling drifts into the stillness. The rooster calls again, as it always does. Its voice carries through the mist, touching every corner of the village. One by one, other doors open, letting in the pale morning light. The day has begun, quietly, as it always does. The wall above seems to watch it all, unmoving, steady, ancient. The same stones have seen countless mornings like this one. They have watched the mist rise, the birds call, the first footsteps appear on the narrow paths. It is a rhythm as old as the hills themselves. The first rays of sunlight reach the rooftops, now painting them in soft gold. Shadows grow shorter, and the mist begins to fade. The village, slow and steady, wakes to another calm day. The light is warm now, spilling gently across the rooftops. The soft gray of dawn has given way to a calm, pale gold. The air is cool and clean, carrying the scent of damp earth from the night before. The village begins its quiet rhythm again. In one courtyard, steam rises from a bamboo steamer as breakfast is prepared. The faint, sweet scent of millet porridge drifts into the lane, mingling with the smell of tea leaves brewing in a clay pot. A soft clink of ceramic cups can be heard. As tea is poured, children wander out into the lanes, their hair still messy from sleep. One chases a small chicken across the path, his laughter low and unhurried. Another kneels to draw shapes in the dust, waiting for a friend to join. Life here begins slowly, never rushed. We walk past the old ginkgo tree. Its golden leaves are scattered across the ground, each one lying still in the morning light. An elder stands beneath the branches, sweeping the fallen leaves into a neat pile. The broom makes a soft, steady sound against the earth. Along the edge of the village, a few men head toward the fields. They carry simple tools over their shoulders, their pace unhurried. The fields wait quietly, still touched by morning mist. Today, as every day, work will move in harmony with the sun. From the hills above, the great wall glows in the fresh light. Its stones are warm now, and every curve of its path is clear against the blue sky. The watchtowers stand quietly, there, shadows falling long over the slopes. The wall looks almost alive in the light. a patient companion to the life below. A cart passes slowly along the path, its wooden wheels creaking softly. Inside are bundles of firewood, tied neatly with rope. The driver nods to a passerby, a small gesture of greeting before continuing on. By now, the village is fully awake. The sounds of daily life are soft but steady. The hum of voices, the rustle of clothes on a line, the faint rhythm of a pestle grinding grain in a stone mortar. The morning has unfolded just as it always does, in the same calm way it has for countless years. And above it all, the wall watches quietly, as it always will. The sun has risen higher now, its light spreading gently across the hills. The mist that hovered in the early hours has lifted, leaving the air clear and calm. Shadows are short, and the paths through the village glow softly in the light. Late morning is a time of steady work. In one courtyard, grain is spread out on large flat mats to dry in the sun. The golden kernels catch the light, creating a quiet shimmer against the earth. An elder leans over, turning the grain with a wooden rake, moving slowly and carefully. Nearby, a woman washes vegetables in a clay basin. The water reflects the blue of the sky, rippling gently with each movement. The green stems of mustard leaves float in the clear water, their color bright and fresh. She lays them neatly on a wooden rack to dry. Along the edge of the village, two men work together to mend a section of the path. They place smooth stones carefully into place, tapping each one with the flat side of a hammer. The sound is rhythmic and calm, blending with the distant calls of birds from the hills. Children wander toward the old well, carrying small clay jars. They lower the rope slowly, hearing the soft splash as the bucket meets the water. The sound of the pulley creaking echoes faintly in the quiet. The water, when lifted, shines clear in the sunlight. The great wall stands above it all, steady and silent. Its stones seem warmer now under the late morning sun. The watchtowers are clear against the bright sky, their outlines sharp and certain. From here, it is easy to imagine how many mornings like this the wall has seen, mornings filled with the same soft hum of life below. Along a higher path, a mule passes, its hooves making a gentle sound against the earth. It carries bundles of straw tied in neat stacks. The driver walks quietly beside it, his hat tilted to shade his eyes from the light. The village moves at this steady rhythm, each moment flowing into the next. The sun climbs higher, but there is no sense of hurry. The day is simply unfolding, as it always has. Under the quiet gaze of the wall, the sun sits high in the sky now, casting a warm glow across the village. The air feels still, holding the gentle warmth of early afternoon. Shadows have softened, and the light spreads evenly over the rooftops, fields, and quiet paths. In a courtyard, a few clay jars rest in the sun. They are filled with fermenting soybeans, their wooden lids set loosely in place. The smell is faint but earthy, drifting gently on the warm air. These jars will remain here for days, tended quietly until the soybeans are ready to become sauce or paste for the meals ahead. Along one narrow lane, an elder sits on a low stool, weaving a fishing basket from reeds. Each movement is slow, deliberate. The basket grows in shape, little by little, the sound of the reeds bending and sliding together almost like a whisper. Beside him, a young boy watches, leaning his chin on his hands. Learning without words, dot in the distance, a faint hum of insects fills the air. The fields are quiet now, most work paused during the warmest part of the day. A few farmers rest beneath a tree, their straw hats tilted low over their faces. The mule they led earlier grazes quietly nearby, its tail swishing lazily. The great wall stands calm above, its stones warm under the afternoon sun. From this distance, the watchtowers cast long shapes onto the slopes below. Every curve of the wall is softened slightly by the haze of heat, making it look almost like it belongs entirely to the landscape. As natural as the hills themselves, in another courtyard, laundry dries in the sunlight, simple shirts, long cloths, and quilted jackets for the cooler nights ahead. They sway gently in the breeze, their colors faded but clean. The scent of fresh water and sun-warmed fabric drifts faintly through the air. The village moves at its usual pace, slow and certain. The early afternoon passes without rush. Each sound, each movement, is part of a rhythm that has guided life. Here for centuries, and high above, the wall watches silently, steady as ever. The warmth of the day begins to soften. The sunlight, once bright and steady, now takes on a golden tone. Shadows grow longer, stretching gently across the paths and fields. A quiet breeze moves through the village, carrying the scent of dry grass and distant pine in the fields. The farmers return to their work. The heat has eased, and their movements are calm, unhurried. Some bend to gather bundles of millet, tying them neatly with strips of straw. Others check the small irrigation channels, letting water flow quietly between the rows. Along the edge of the village, a group of children sit on the grass, playing with smooth stones. They take turns stacking them, trying to build the tallest tower without letting it fall. Their laughter is soft, blending into the low hum of the afternoon air. A mule cart passes along the main path, its wheels creaking in the stillness. The driver nods to a neighbor, offering a few words before continuing on. The cart is filled with small bundles of kindling gathered from the hills, ready to be stored for the cooler nights to come. Above it all, the Great Wall glows warmly in the late afternoon light. Its stones catch the gold of the sun, and the watchtowers cast tall, slanted shadows that reach far down the slopes. From here, it seems to blend into the sky, the line between stone and horizon almost disappearing near the old ginkgo tree. An elder sweeps the path. Golden leaves scatter across the ground, their edges curling softly. The broom moves slowly, brushing them into a neat pile. Each sweep feels like part of the day's rhythm, quiet and unhurried. The air is calm now, filled with a sense of gentle transition. The late afternoon carries the promise of evening, yet there is no rush to meet it. The village simply moves forward at its own timeless pace. The golden light begins to thin, softening into the gentle tones of evening. The warmth of the sun fades little by little, replaced by the cool touch of approaching night. Shadows grow long and soft across the lanes. The village moves at an unhurried pace toward the close of day. In one courtyard, a woman stirs a clay pot over a small stove. The smell of soy sauce, ginger, and fresh vegetables drifts into the air, mingling with the faint sweetness of steamed rice. Nearby, a child carries a basket of fresh greens, placing them carefully on the wooden table. Along another path, an elder walks slowly with a small bundle of firewood balanced on his back. The wood will be used to keep the evening meal warm and to heat the house as night settles in. Each step is deliberate, steady, in harmony with the quiet flow of the day. In the open space by the ginkgo tree, a few neighbors gather. They speak softly, their words mingling with the rustle of leaves above. One pours tea from a dark clay pot, filling each cup slowly before passing it to the others. The tea is warm, the conversation gentle, the moment unhurried. Above the village, the Great Wall glows faintly in the last of the light. Its stones seem almost golden, holding the warmth of the day even as the air cools. The watchtowers are outlined against the deepening sky, their shapes calm and certain. The fields are quiet now. The tools have been put away, leaning against stone walls and wooden fences. A few late birds call from the edges of the fields, their voices soft, carrying across the still air. As the light fades, the first paper lanterns appear. They glow gently, casting warm circles of light on the paths. The evening has arrived, calm and certain, as it has countless times before. The last of the sunlight slips behind the hills. The sky fades from gold to soft lavender, then to the deepening blue of evening. A quiet stillness spreads through the village, wrapping every path and courtyard in a gentle calm. The paper lanterns glow more brightly now. Their warm light shimmers faintly as they sway in the light breeze. Each lantern casts a soft circle on the ground, guiding the last footsteps home before night settles completely. In the courtyards, evening meals are being shared. The sound of chopsticks tapping gently on bowls drifts into the air. Steam rises. From simple dishes, rice, vegetables, perhaps a small piece of fish, each meal warm and familiar. Voices are low, calm, and unhurried. Beyond the homes, the fields have fallen silent. The grain rests in neat bundles, the soil cooling after the warmth of the day. From somewhere near the edge of the village, a dog barks once, then settles again. Into quiet above, the gray wall darkens in the fading light. The stones turn to deep gray, the watchtowers becoming quiet silhouettes against the evening sky. The wall feels steady and ancient, as though it has watched this same evening arrive countless times before. Along the main path, an elder walks slowly, carrying a lantern in one hand. The glow lights his way as he makes his final round, checking that doors are closed and animals are safely inside their pens. It is a quiet ritual, part of the rhythm of each day. The air is cooler now. The scent of earth, wood smoke, and faint traces of pine drift together, filling the still night air. The village grows quieter with each passing moment as the calm of night draws nearer. The last of the sunlight slips behind the hills. The sky fades from gold to soft lavender, then to the deepening blue of evening. A quiet stillness spreads through the village, wrapping every path and courtyard in a gentle calm. The paper lanterns glow more brightly now. Their warm light shimmers faintly as they sway in the light breeze. Each lantern casts a soft circle on the ground, guiding the last footsteps home before night settles completely. In the courtyards, evening meals are being shared. The sound of chopsticks tapping gently on bowls drifts into the air. Steam rises. From simple dishes, rice, vegetables, perhaps a small piece of fish, each meal warm and familiar. Voices are low, calm, and unhurried. Beyond the homes, the fields have fallen silent. The grain rests in neat bundles, the soil cooling after the warmth of the day. From somewhere near the edge of the village, a dog barks once, then settles again. Into quiet above, the gray wall darkens in the fading light. The stones turn to deep gray, the watchtowers becoming quiet silhouettes against the evening sky. The wall feels steady and ancient, as though it has watched this same evening arrive countless times before. Along the main path, an elder walks slowly, carrying a lantern in one hand. The glow lights his way as he makes his final round, checking that doors are closed and animals are safely inside their pens. It is a quiet ritual, part of the rhythm of each day. The air is cooler now. The scent of earth, wood smoke, and faint traces of pine drift together, filling the still night air. The village grows quieter with each passing moment as the calm of night draws nearer. The village is entirely still now. The lanterns have burned low, their light reduced to a faint glow, just enough to mark a doorway or the corner of a path. Most homes are quiet, their wooden shutters closed, the soft rhythm of sleep within. The sky is wide and deep. The moon rides high, bathing the wall in silver light. Its stones gleam faintly, every ridge and curve softened by the glow. The watchtowers cast long, pale shadows that stretch silently across the slopes. A cool breeze moves gently through the village. It carries with it the smell of pine from the hills, the faint scent of damp earth, and the last traces of wood smoke from the evening fires. The air feels clean and light, almost untouched. In one courtyard, a dog stirs briefly, then curls back into its place, content. A rooster shifts on its perch, but makes no sound, waiting for the faint light of morning to come. Every creature here moves in harmony with the deep quiet of the night. Above, the stars are steady. Some are bright, some faint, scattered like small lanterns across the endless dark. For those who know the sky, they mark the turning of the seasons. But tonight, they simply shine, constant and unchanging, as they have for countless nights before. The wall stands silent, a dark ribbon of stone flowing over the hills. From here, it seems almost alive, a companion to the village below, sharing its stillness, sharing its long, unbroken rest. The hours pass slowly, marked only by the steady path of the moon across the sky. It dips lower, and the first pale hints of change begin to touch the horizon. Morning will come, but for now, the night holds the village in a deep and quiet embrace. The deep stillness of night begins to shift. It is almost unnoticeable at first, a faint change in the air, a softer edge to the darkness. The moon sinks lower, its silver light fading into the quiet shadows of the hills. Along the horizon, the faintest pale glow begins to appear. It is not yet morning, but the promise of day lingers in the sky. The stars near the edge of the light grow fainter, their steady brightness giving way to the first touch of dawn. The village remains mostly asleep. The lanterns are dark now, the paths resting under the cool gray light of pre-dawn. Mist curls low over the ground, weaving gently between walls and courtyards. It clings to the fields at the edge of the village, wrapping them in a thin silver veil. The Great Wall is the first to meet the changing light. Its stones take on a pale tone, their rough texture softened by the haze. The watchtowers rise like calm silhouettes, their edges glowing faintly against the brightening sky. A single bird calls from the branches of the ginkgo tree, a clear, high note that carries into the stillness. Another answers from the hills, the soft music of morning beginning again. Inside the homes, there is the quiet sound of someone stirring. A door slides open gently, and a faint creak of wood echoes in the silence. A woman steps into the courtyard, her breath forming soft clouds in the cool air. She moves slowly, lighting a small fire. The first warmth of the day beginning to rise. The rooster calls, breaking the last moments of night. Its voice echoes along the narrow lanes, just as it has every morning before. The day is returning, steady and certain, as it always does. The light grows stronger, washing the rooftops in pale gold. Shadows begin to shorten, and the mist thins, lifting gently into the air. The village wakes once more, the calm rhythm of life beginning again beneath. The quiet gaze of the wall. The first warmth of sunlight spreads across the village. It touches the tiled rooftops, turning them a gentle gold. The paths, still damp with dew, glisten faintly in the light. The air feels fresh and cool, carrying the soft scent of wet earth and pine. Doors open quietly, one after another. A man steps into the lane, carrying a small bucket toward the well. The sound of the rope moving over the pulley echoes softly, followed by the splash of water rising from below. The bucket returns full, its surface shimmering in the sunlight. In a courtyard, a woman kneels beside a low stove. Steam curls upward from a bamboo steamer as she lifts the lid, releasing the warm aroma of fresh buns. Beside her, tea leaves steep in a clay pot, their fragrance drifting into the air. The calm sound of water pouring into cups marks the start of another day. Children appear slowly, their hair still tousled from sleep. Some gather near the old ginkgo tree, their voices low and easy. One child rolls a small hoop along the path, laughing softly when it tips over. Life begins gently here, without rush from the fields. A few farmers begin their walk toward the terraces. Their tools rest easily on their shoulders, and their pace is steady. The morning light falls across the field, turning the young crops bright green. A faint breeze moves through the grain, making it ripple like water above the great wall glows softly in the early light. Its stones are warm, their edges clear against the pale blue sky. The watchtowers stand tall and quiet, keeping their silent company over the hills. It is the same view the village has known for generations, unchanged and steady. The sounds of the morning grow just a little, the soft murmur of voices, the clink of bowls, the distant call of a bird. The day has begun, calm and certain. As it always does along the wall, the sunlight grows stronger now, though it is still gentle. The cool silver of dawn has turned to a warm gold, spilling evenly across the rooftops and fields. Shadows fall, clearly on the ground, stretching softly from doorways and walls. In the courtyards, work begins in its quiet, familiar way. A man repairs a wooden cart, his hands moving steadily as he smooths a rough edge with a small plane. The sound is soft, blending with the distant hum of insects beginning their day. Nearby, a woman tends to vegetables laid neatly in shallow baskets. She picks through them carefully, setting aside the best to be cooked for the midday meal. The smell of fresh greens and damp earth lingers in the air. Children carry small buckets of water to sprinkle on the garden plots. The water glistens briefly on the soil before soaking in, darkening the ground. Their laughter drifts lightly across the lane, quiet enough to blend into the easy rhythm of the morning at the edge of the village. A few men make their way toward the higher terraces. They walk slowly, stopping now and then to adjust the bundles of tools on their backs. The fields wait in the sunlight, their rows straight and steady, like lines drawn into the earth. Above, the great wall is clear and bright. Its stones shine softly in the sun, and the watchtowers cast short, defined shadows. From this angle, the wall seems to flow almost endlessly, each curve leading to another, as if it has no true end. The air feels full but peaceful, the sounds of life carrying just enough to remind you that the village is awake, alive, yet never hurried. The morning has reached its steady rhythm, the same rhythm that has guided this place for countless days. The sun climbs higher, and the light turns softer but warmer. Shadows shorten, resting close to the walls and edges of the paths. The rooftops hold a gentle heat now, and the air carries the faint scent of sun-warmed stone in the courtyards. Daily work continues at its unhurried pace. Grain is spread across wide mats to dry, the golden kernels glinting in the light. An elder walks slowly along the edge of the mats, turning the grain with a wooden rake so that each side meets the sun. Near the well, women draw water, their voices calm as they speak to one another. Buckets rise from the cool depths, splashing gently as they are poured into clay jars. The water glistens in the light, clear and still. Children carry small errands for their families, a basket of vegetables. Here, a bundle of herbs there. Their steps are light, and they pause often to look at insects on the path or a bird resting on a branch. The rhythm of life allows space for such pauses at the edge of the village. A farmer checks the irrigation channels, watching the thin streams of water flow slowly between rows of young crops. The sound of water is soft, blending with the warm hum of insects. The fields shimmer faintly under the sunlight, their green, bright, and calm dot above. The great wall stands steady in the late morning light. Its stones are warm, the watchtowers sharply defined against the pale blue of the sky. From here, the wall seems almost to float above the hills, a line of stone holding its quiet place between earth and sky. The warmth deepens, but there is no rush in the air. The village continues its gentle rhythm. Moving slowly toward the stillness of midday, the sun now stands high above the hills, casting its warm light evenly across the land. The air has grown still, holding the calm heat of midday. Shadows rest directly beneath the eaves, short and steady. The village slows. In courtyards, tools are set aside, their work paused until the cooler hours return. The grain laid out on mats glows a brighter gold under the sun, but there is no need to tend it for now. It will rest, just as the villagers do. Some gather in shaded corners, sitting on low stools or resting against the smooth walls. A pot of tea may still be close at hand, the liquid darker now, steeped longer in the heat of the day. The steam rises faintly, curling into the still air. The animals rest as well. Chickens nestle quietly in the shade. A mule stands beneath a tree, its head lowered, tail swishing lazily. Even the birds seem quieter, their calls softened in the midday calm. From the fields, the sound of water in the irrigation channels carries faintly a steady cooling murmur that blends with the stillness above. The great wall holds steady in the full light of the sun. Its stones are pale and bright, the watchtowers standing clear and sharp against the white sky. The wall appears almost timeless here, unmoved by the changing hours. The heat is never harsh in this place, only warm enough to invite rest. The village pauses, knowing that work will begin again when the shadows grow longer. For now, the world holds a deep, unbroken calm. The sun begins its slow descent, softening the midday heat. Light turns warmer again, spilling gold across rooftops and fields. A gentle breeze stirs the air, carrying the faint scent of pine and earth. The village awakens from its rest with quiet, steady movements. Doors open softly, and the low murmur of voices returns to the lanes. Farmers gather their tools and make their way toward the fields, their steps easy and unhurried. Children emerge to play beneath the old ginkgo tree, their laughter light and calm. They chase one another slowly, stopping often to examine a small stone or a fallen leaf near the walls. An elder tends to the last of the evening fires, preparing for the cooler hours ahead. The smell of wood smoke drifts gently, mingling with the earth and grain. Above it all, the great wall watches quietly. Its stones glow softly in the late afternoon light, a steady, ancient presence. The watchtowers stand unmoving, holding countless stories and silent memories within their walls as the day begins to close. The village settles into the calm rhythm it has known for centuries. The gentle sounds of life, soft footsteps, whispered conversations, the rustle of leaves weave together into a peaceful lullaby. And now, as you rest with this quiet story, may the calm of these ancient villages and the timeless strength of the Great Wall carry you gently into sleep. Let your breath slow and soften, your thoughts grow still. The world here rests, and so may you. Good night.